to Tuesday, November 1st.
Is it Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, and it's November, weirdly. We have a great guest, Monica Piper from Not That Jewish.
Not Jewish.
Not That Jewish.
Jewish, perhaps. There's a Jew. We were just talking about falsettos before.
And there's the whole joke. Now we don't have to do the interview.
There's a Jewish joke in falsettos, right? It's a hot thing right now. Anyway, it's not Election Tuesday. That's still a week away. Yes. But a Broadway show managed to make all the political news today. So let's start with that.
Yes.
So there's a little show called Hello Dolly coming. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's sold out through the year or something. I don't know. It's a huge sensation already. Bette Midler's doing Hello Dolly. Scott Rudin's producing it. The very clever Scott Rudin made it into all. I mean, it's all over.
So
okay, here's what happened. So this is what came out today. This is the actual. This is New York, a special section of the New York Times, right? An election section. So these two, we know them, and then there's an ad below for the humans, right? But that's not what was supposed to be there. What was supposed to be there was this Hello Dolly ad, which simply all it says is it takes a woman, which is a quote. Sorry, is that blocking your face?
Okay.
It takes a woman while I'm blocking your face. Sorry, I'll block my face. It's a song in Hello Dolly.
Correct.
And so, there's a message here. Anyway, the New York Times rejected.
Not so subtle.
And all it says is, I can't even read what all it says. It's like, it takes a woman, then really tiny, it
Hello
says,
Dolly in the
Hello
Schubert
Dolly,
Theater.
try to get tickets. Anyway, very clever. It got rejected by the New York Times. They said it was too political. Did that surprise you?
A little bit, because the ad was editorializing on the picture above it, I guess. But how did...
It's fun. I like it.
Anyway,
whatever.
But anyway,
so that was
there
exciting.
is a Hello Dolly ad in the election sections, just further into the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you read the election section? I like how that
I'll get to it.
So that's exciting. Indecent, this play, Indecent, is now officially, we heard last...
The Paula Vogel play,
Yeah,
right?
the Paula Vogel play that was done
at the
Vineyard. Is now, it has a theater and an opening night. It's opening April 18th at the Court. I did a little research on this play.
Oh, you did?
I wish I saw it off Broadway. I didn't, but I talked about it on the Broadway.com show, and so I did my research. Mm-hmm. And do you know what the play that it's about is actually about? So it's about a play that was in the 20s, and all the actors got arrested for indecent, kind of like Mae West had that problem.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She had that problem. Mm-hmm. The plot, it was written in the early 1900s. It's a Yiddish play, and is about a brothel owner, a Jewish father who owns a brothel, but he's trying to keep his teenage daughter pure. And it had Broadway's first lesbian kiss in it.
Oh.
So these are interesting. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited for this play now. I'm curious to hear the backstory. And they're singing in it too. Katrina Lenk, who was in Spider, wasn't she one of the Spider Woman and Spider Man? Wasn't she Arachne?
Arachne.
Anyway, she's in it. The Macy's Parade is happening on Thanksgiving. It was always the highlight of all my childhood. Every year, Holiday Inn will be there. Every show tries to get on. Holiday Inn, Hairspray Live, Cats are all confirmed.
There might be more. Yeah.
Tammy Grimes died. That happened actually yesterday, right during Live at 5. I remember one of the commenters actually. One of our regulars actually said it, and I was like, well, I better confirm that before I say it live. But Tony winner for Unsinkable Molly Brown died at 82. Great, great talent. Adele told Vanity Fair she wants to play Mama Rose.
Someday. She's in her 20s.
Well, when she's 50. The problem is there's only so many gypsy revivals and so many ladies that we have lined up to do.
Keep them coming.
Okay. We'll just do it every couple
years. Adele can do
years.
whatever she wants.
Javier Munoz will be on Quantico, or Quantico if you prefer.
I like that. That was good.
I don't know. The New York, thank you for laughing. The New York Pops is honoring Kelly O'Hara and Bart Scher on May 1st, 2017. It's really far off.
Yes.
Carnegie Hall, but if you want to save up your money, you can. It's going to be real
Matthew
swanky.
Morrison will be there. John Lithgow.
Oh, okay. I don't even know that. Swanky. It's a swanky affair.
With a lot of Kelly O'Hara's former
Ben
co-stars.
Pasek and Justin Paul, who of course are hard at work on Dear Evan Hansen right now. They're getting hired all over Hollywood, and now they've been hired by Disney to do a Snow White live-action musical.
I'm there.
Mark Platt, Broadway's producer, is going to produce that, and they're writing new songs. Verso, the magic show at New World Stages, is closing on 11/27. I'm sorry. Do you know how to say his name? I should have done my research on that. It's a difficult
But if you do, let us know.
Yeah. Natalie Babbitt, who wrote Tuck Everlasting.
She was at the performance that I went when I went to see
that's right. I
Tuck
remember you
Everlasting.
told me that.
She was there, and she was very moved by the musical.
She died of cancer.
She was 84.
So great that she got to see that. I loved Tuck Everlasting. That was a beautiful show. Didn't last, but what are you going to do? It's show business. You know, I mean...
Words of wisdom from Paul Winter.
Did you watch that Lion King video about India Bolds, the Lion King ensemble member?
I did not, but
She
now
teamed
I want
up.
to.
No, you have to. She teamed up with ESPN Sports Science. I guess it's one of their shows. I'm not a ESPN.
Shock. I'm shocked.
But they did a whole thing where they sort of like tracked the athleticism of what she does in The
cool.
Lion King.
Oh,
So
I
it's
love
looking
that.
at Broadway performers and
As
how
athletes.
crazy, talented, and athletic they are. David Tennant will be in Don Juan in Soho in the West End, a Patrick Marber play. And they think that he's going to be directing it himself. Billy Porter has an album coming out in like a year, but that they told us today. So now we have to wait for it. No, it's coming out in April. I think I don't know.
I don't care. I'm ready. I'm
I don't
excited.
know.
And there's some Broadway
April,
stars joining him.
And it's called The Soul of Richard Rodgers, and it's he will be on it, of course. Cynthia Erivo, Leslie Odom Jr., Renee Leach Goldsberry, Ladisi, Brandon Victor Dixon, Bettina Miller, Joshua Henry. This reminds me of when Billy Porter was a director. Remember when he was
still
directing?
a director.
No, I know, but remember when he was directing, he was creating all those shows?
Oh, yes, I remember.
And he created a show called Being Alive, and it was all talented black performers doing Sondheim. And now I think it's a concept album. I think he wants to do a show. I think Billy's
I know
ready.
You're watching, Billy.
There's
Let
a
us
new
know.
Broadway Across America report. Ryan will tell you what's going on the road. Speaking of the road, Lifetime, there's a show on Lifetime called The Balancing Act, and they do a segment called Broadway Bounces America about tours. There'll be a segment about an American in Paris tour on
lot of
November
news
7th.
today.
We're almost done. Stephen Eady, Martin and Brickell will be reuniting with their Bright Star company
That's an
on
old
December
show.
12th. I love when this happens, when shows close and they immediately miss each other and they want to keep reuniting.
Little
The Sideshow cast did that, remember?
Yes.
They're like, we're reuniting. It's like, okay. And this is at Town Hall, December 12th, to celebrate, and then this is the excuse they came up with, to celebrate their album, which has been out since
Forever.
April.
Yeah, that's okay.
Great album, though. Great album,
Fantastic.
and I want to be there because that's a talented group of people. Shirley Ralph and Kara Lindsay start in Wicked tonight.
Awesome.
Todrick Hall starts in Kinky Boots tonight.
Break a leg, everybody.
There's a new episode of Walk Like a Man.
Mark Ballas
Which I
showing you
didn't-
backstage.
you watched
and
it,
he
right?
has Chelsea Hightower from Dancing with the Stars comes to visit him. And they've known each other since they were very young. Interesting.
And I think going up on did you notice we match? And
We
I
didn't
think
plan.
I just got a glimpse of us. And going up on the site right now is, we're doing a new feature, staff picks for the month. A bunch of us chose.
What was your pick? Do you want to give a preview?
I'll reveal it. It is seeing Sutton Foster and Sweet
Our
Charity.
picks are both off
Which is
Broadway.
kind of obvious. Because,
we can
but
be
I'm
obvious.
excited to see because they said they're going to explore the darker, Sweet Charity. And I saw that
Black
picture of her
Blossom.
wig and it looks crazy and I'm excited. Anyway, I know what yours is, but tell them.
Dead Poets Society.
Also
Seize the day.
off-Broadway.
Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a good star in that one.
Jason Sudeikis.
And then, but now we have another
Monica Piper,
awesome
ladies
star.
and gentlemen. Not that Jewish. Monica Piper. Hi, Paul. Welcome, Monica. Come on into my
Hi.
office.
He's great.
He's very good. He runs the show here. Hello.
Hello, and he said arachne. That impressed me.
We know our Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Well,
We went through a lot with Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
remember arachnophobia? Remember
Oh, yes.
the movie?
Oh, yes.
It reminded me that I have synoverbophobia, fear of big words in movie titles. But anyway, okay.
I love that. I love
Sorry.
it. I love it. This is a little post-Halloween humor, everybody. Okay, Monica Piper is doing a very autobiographical piece,
Very.
one-woman piece, correct, at New World Stages. Now let's start with the poster, because if you know nothing about Monica, you know nothing about Not That Jewish, and you see her with a lobster. If you're even a little bit Jewish, one word comes to your head. What's the word?
Trafe.
Treif. Look, she has no idea. Treif means not kosher. Lobsters aren't kosher. So is that why you have a lobster?
That is why we have a lobster. But Not That Jewish, by the way, is actually not that Jewish. I mean,
It's
really,
not about Judaism.
It's not
It's about
about
you.
Judaism. It's about finding, searching for what it means to have a religion in my life and whether I need to or not. And it's really more about being human, and covers a lot of things that pretty much everyone can relate to. It's really, really funny, but it's also it'll get
let's
you.
tell people how they
It'll
might know
get
you.
you.
So they will know you from being the head writer of Rugrats,
Head writer of Rugrats. Pretty
writing
cool.
for like the Hall of Fame of TV comedy, Roseanne, mad about you? I'm sure I'm missing a bunch. Tell me more.
Well, you're missing one that wasn't. I wouldn't.
That, well, the whole. I
wouldn't call
Famers.
Veronica's Closet.
Veronica's Closet with
Hall of
Kirstie
Fame
Alley. That was a good
comedy.
show. And you did a lot of stand up.
A lot of stand up for many years.
But you live in California, right?
I do, Santa Monica, with my son, who I love and adore almost every day.
I totally relate to that as a mother myself. And but now you're back in New York. You're a New Yorker. You're born and bred, right?
Born and bred, and it's amazing. You live in California for 25 years, and then you're suddenly back. It takes half a day to get back
acclimated,
to get back into the rhythm.
What did you miss about the city?
The
energy,
the speed.
The speed.
It's like everyone. I grew up here and moved back. I mean, moved to California, but it's like everyone's in slow motion.
We are
so I'm impatient.
People.
And when my son was a teenager, I mean, we talk about it in the show that he's a slow-mo sapien, slow to move, slow to get dressed, but it's like an ex-New Yorker living with someone on dude time.
Dude time is slow.
Very slow.
It's slow. And you're impatient, not that Jewish. So tell us, where does the title come from, Not That Jewish?
Well, when I was...
when you were starting at the Jewish Women's Theater?
No, we didn't belong to a temple when I was growing up. But on the High Holy Days, my mother would make us dress up and stand in front of the apartment building so it looked like we just got home from temple. So... because of that...
Keeping up appearances, I like it.
A friend of mine, a little 7-year-old friend of mine, I was 7, came up and said, "Did you really go to temple?" And I wasn't the good liar I am today. So I'm really good today. But not exactly. Anyway, she told me, "Well, then you're not that Jewish." And I went, What did that mean?
I don't like that 7-year-old girl.
No, well, she's a good person today. But back then. And so it was just a memory I had. And then Rhonda Spinak, who's the artistic director of Jewish Women's Theater in Los Angeles. And don't get the wrong idea when you hear Jewish Women's Theater, because it's really not a ladies.
It's about a lot of things.
It's not ladies in babushkas dancing the hora in front of a shtetl. It's not
but
that.
But you can see that at the Broadway theater. If
you
want
can,
to.
but Fiddler on the Roof, but not there. No, it's cutting edge writers and actors and doing really contemporary stuff. So anyway, she said, "I've started this thing called Jewish Women's Theater, and I want you to write and perform some of your original pieces there." So I said, "But Rhonda, I'm not that Jewish."
You learned that when you were 7.
Yes, and that was 8 years ago when she asked me to do this, and I said, "But I'm not that Jewish," and she literally said, "Someday that will be the name of your play."
And there will be a lobster on the poster, and that's just history.
8 years later, here we are.
So we have some questions.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, David wants to know, how is doing a one-person show different for you than working with a whole cast?
Well,
you're used to being alone on stage as a
I'm used as a stand-up.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good question, but I think it's also how it's different from stand-up. I haven't been in a lot of plays with big casts. Mm-hmm. I've mostly been a writer and a stand-up for all these years. So I can't really compare it to that, other than knowing that when you're with a big cast, you get to rest. for at least a minute or at least 10 seconds while someone else is talking. But you can't when you're, I'm up there for 85 minutes.
How does your son feel about the show?
Well, a lot of it's about him.
Jake. How old is Jake now?
He's now 24. But...
So, that can be hard to have someone write about. When it's autobiographical for you, it's also for your family.
But it's also very moving. The conclusion I come to at the end is because he's adopted, he decides when he's 18 that he's not that Jewish. That he's not Jewish. Even though because I'm not that Jewish, I for some reason, felt it was very important to raise a Jewish man. I knew I needed to pass it down, you know, and so I did what I could. I sent him, he went to Hebrew school and did all that. And when he's 18, he says, I'm not Jewish because my birth mother isn't Jewish. So that's the point at which I have to decide what being Jewish really means, because he's such a good man. And he seems to have all the qualities. My grandma, who you'll meet in the show, says, what's important is that you got a Jewish heart. Huh?
Oh.
So we have to figure out through the course of the show what that means. And if you have a Jewish heart, it doesn't, you don't have to be Jewish to have one.
I get it.
That's kind of what
I love that.
That's kind of what we figure out. So it's really about something. And it's different from stand-up, very different from stand-up. Because stand-up, you need to get a laugh every 10 seconds.
I'm going to ask you David's question, and then I have a question.
Yes.
David's question is, who are some of the newer stand-up comics you enjoy? That's a good question.
That's a really good question. I wish I watched more of the... I've been doing this for 16 months in LA and now here, so I haven't been to the clubs a lot. So I don't know who some of the brand new ones are, but I know who I love.
Who do you love?
As comics, I love Louis C.K. hugely, and mine are, you're going to say, she's so old-fashioned. I don't know if you've ever seen Dana Carvey live in stand-up. He's not just the church lady from Saturday Night Live, and this does date me, but he is one of the funniest stand-ups that I've ever, I mean, he literally makes me laugh out loud, howl. And I don't know a lot of the new ones because I haven't had time to get to the clubs.
Now, I noticed that the Not That Jewish Twitter is obsessed with teaching us Yiddish. Thank you. Thank you, Not That Jewish. So I'm going to ask you to name some of your favorite Yiddishisms. I don't know if that's a word, but work with me.
I get you, yeah.
Because my grandmother said a lot of things, and I don't know what she said. I don't know.
You know, but some of them, you don't need to know exactly the definition. Right. You need to look at the person's face.
So you tell me one of your favorites, I'll tell you one of my favorites. Let's see if let's compare.
Okay.
Not That Jewish.
I love the word because I love the comedy K. Anytime you can get the cook in there, it's going to be funnier.
It's like a master class.
So it's like my grandma would call anybody she thought looked stupid. Look at that fakakta dress.
Oh, fakakta is
look
a
at
really
that
good word.
fakakta
You guys
hat.
need to put fakakta into your daily life. It won't win you any friends.
It just means look at that stupid, ridiculous thing.
Fakakta, messed up, fakakta. Is that right?
Yeah, now yours.
My grandmother would say, you look ungeblusen. That's like sad, like upset, annoyed. Like every teenager. You look ungeblusen.
Ungeblusen, which is better than having a verbissen punum.
Verbissen punum.
A
you know what that means?
Sourpuss. Sourpuss. Okay, what else? What you got?
What I got?
What you got, girl?
I love a fakakta. Well, I love Mishigas. Mishigas is very important.
Mishigas is my life. That's crazy. I like shmagegi.
Well, I've heard it, but I don't think I could define that. Shmagegi.
He's such a shmagegi.
Of course, he's a shmagegi, but I don't know what it means. It just means.
Well, look at the way I'm saying it.
Shmagegi.
Look at this guy.
Look at that fakakta shmagegi.
Look at this guy with the fakakta hat on his head. What a shmagegi. Okay, see, you don't even have to know the definition. This could be a good party game.
I like this. I like Learn Yiddish with Monica Piper.
There you go.
How to insult your friends and family with Monica. These will come in very handy at Thanksgiving, not to mention the High Holy Days.
And you know, you're doing an interview. You go through your closet and go, oh God, I can't go in a shmata. You know, like a shmata.
Shmata, right?
You gotta look
verpitzt.
No, verpitzt.
I don't know what that means.
Verpitzt. This would be verpitzt. Oh, yeah, so hot.
Hot.
No, well, I'm
I
just
would say
so
that my mother
verpitzt.
would say if I was dressed up that I looked like Madame Sprinzy.
That's good.
I didn't really love being called that when I was 14, though.
Well, it means that you look pretty classy, Madame Sprinzy, instead of
verpitzt
instead of Moishe Sprinsky down the street.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not understanding any of this, then you need to go see Not That Jewish at New World
No, because
Stages.
it's really Not That Jewish is not that Jewish.
Listen,
you don't have to be Jewish
and go see Not
exactly.
That Jewish.
You don't
The
have
Goyim
to
are
be
welcome.
Jewish to love this show, and it will not leave you vermischt, verklemmt, and verbludgeoned.
Thank God. Boy, all right, we're gonna take off. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.